All right. Hey, friends and family. This is DT, Mr. Todd, whatever you want to call me. I know it's been a little too long since I've updated people, and I don't believe I have a bunch of friends and family and followers who are buying crypto because of me. However, people have told me that some of the things I've shared have been at least insightful, if not helpful to them as they invest or just try to learn more about things. So I'm trying to use Canva, and we've got a new desktop computer downstairs, and the mic doesn't seem to be the greatest, so I'll have to borrow one from our boy Willie next time. But let's jump in here. Hopefully, something of interest. The world's crazy. What I'm seeing and learning, not the most creative title, but it is what it is. I'm trying to figure out how to advance these slides. There we go. So a little disclaimer as usual, I don't think people should do what I do. I really hope I'm right in terms of my investment decisions, but we shall see. The pizza was good. Google that if you don't know what we're talking about. That's just some OG Bitcoin stuff right there. So micro update, micro meaning my little personal perspective. I'm a perma-bull when it comes to Bitcoin and the other top digital assets. And, like this gentleman here, there's always those of us who are optimistic. I just feel like the ultimate thesis of what crypto promises, and knowing that 98% of it is garbage, is not good. But that 2%, those few assets, some of which haven't been created yet, they're going to change the world. So I'm betting on that. The macro update currently is not good. We're in financial Armageddon part, whatever that is. There's been so many cycles and downturns over the ages, if you will. And right now things are not good. So therefore prices are low and it's a good time to buy. Jerome Powell signals recession may be priced to pay for crushing inflation. So since prices have gone up so much, especially with gasoline and food, the Fed has to raise the interest rate. So it's 0.75% again. So central bank raises it. Banks raise their interest rates for homeowners, want to buy houses, for businesses, and therefore it slows down the economy. And so also this last week, Dow plunges to its lowest level since 2020 to end another dismal week. So fundamentally what we see is the government is trying to fix the situation. Prices are high. Let's hurt the economy. People lose their jobs. Demand goes down. Therefore, prices go down. It's pretty crazy. Once you understand that whole quantitative tightening and quantitative easing, we've had a lot of quantitative easing since the pandemic, COVID. Now we're paying this huge price that we knew would come. In fact, along those same lines, Southern California's housing collapse, sales plunge after 47% payment jump. So those interest rates, now that they're back at, I think the rates are as high as they were back in 2008, 9, once the economy collapsed. And then we see a percentage change in the S&P since its peak on January 3rd. So we were in that bear market territory in June. And then right now, at the end of September, we are right back in that trough. So now, why does this all matter? I think it's boring to people. It's like, hey, tell me which coin to buy. Well, we don't really know where we are in this graph, but we know that we're going down. And as soon as we hit that trough, the bottom of it, we're going to see the risk on assets, the stocks, the cryptocurrencies, they're going to start running again or rallying. And that's what we want to, of course, be in on. And then I like to remind myself and others, the only way to lose money is if you sell your assets at a loss. So during this downturn, thankfully, I only invested, maybe 5% of the total crypto portfolio that we hold maybe is in stuff that won't recover, but 95% of it is in digital assets that will not only recover and reach their all-time highs again, but that will go beyond that. So it's just a matter of holding on. Don't invest what you can't afford to lose in the medium or short term. So the thesis for this particular lesson, if you will, is the following, or just for the whole output in terms of the price going up eventually. For Bitcoin to increase in price, there must be an increase in adoption. More people have to buy it. For adoption to increase, there must be more institutional acceptance. And then finally, for there to be more institutional acceptance, there needs to be more regulation or acceptance by the government. So the question is the United States government going to ban Bitcoin? Just recently, Biden's administration came out saying, oh, Bitcoin uses too much energy. Of course, they're missing the overall point. The financial crises we keep experiencing in these cycles and the way we destroy our planet to extract the rare earth minerals and resources is all predicated upon a false sense of what our money is and what our economy is. And Bitcoin and similar technologies, of course, aim to completely fix the money system. Therefore, the amount of energy it uses, which is decreasing as there's more green ways to do proof of work mining, in the end would fix the environmental impact issues. I'm not saying Bitcoin fixes all of them, but if you look at, once again, this need for never-ending growth in the economy based on fiat currency that goes up and down in value, there's a fundamental brokenness to it all. So that's a lot, I know, and it's hard to understand that because it really, you have to understand money and the way the financial cycles work and all the stuff we talked about a little bit ago with quantitative tightening and easing. But ultimately, Bitcoin's price will go up, and we're going to look at why. Crypto is getting more, not less, institutionalized. So BlackRock is one of the biggest asset managers in the entire world. And they made the surprising announcement a few months ago that they would be investing in Bitcoin, basically. That they have this, it's called Aladdin Financial Services, like a division within BlackRock. And it's going to be opening up crypto investments to its clientele who are whales. NASDAQ custody service has just been announced. The NASDAQ, of course, is a titan of the stock world. And now they apparently want to be a major player for crypto. That you can't ignore. By the way, look at cute little Lark Davis in the corner. I love Lark. I follow him. I even pay to be one of his like insider groups on Patreon. And he is pretty fantastic. And he's the one who shared these, just kind of put together all these recent announcements that have happened. Thirdly, Fidelity brokerage customers will soon be able to buy Bitcoin. Formerly, this had only been available to private clients. So Fidelity was offering exposure to Bitcoin, but just if you were cool enough. Now they're going to open it up to all 34 million of their investors. So that is what we're talking about here. The thesis for their adoption to increase, there must be more institutional acceptance. We're just kind of waiting on the government to really open the floodgates, and Bitcoin really can't be banned. So do the math. Also, EDX is a new crypto exchange being launched by Citadel, Charles Schwab, and Fidelity. Just casually, the biggest names in finance launching a crypto exchange. Gotta love Lark. It's easy to lose sight of the big picture during a bear market. Everything can seem so grim, but pay attention to what is actually happening, not what the big money players are saying, but what they're doing. So that's really the message for this whole video that I'm making right there. I could leave it at that, but there's more. Samsung Securities joins giant brokerages in Bitcoin crypto exchange push. So over in South Korea, you have it says here 7 large domestic securities companies in South Korea are seeking approval to operate cryptocurrency exchanges. South Korea is a huge economic powerhouse. We see a lot of crypto friendliness over in other parts of the world. And so that we're talking about, the 8 billion total people. Even if there's only a small percentage of the total population that gets involved in digital assets, you're going to see massive shifts in the pricing structure. So I love this awkward image. But really, I'm looking to still buy Bitcoin and Solana whenever I can. And I'm looking ahead at some interesting new layer ones that Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX invested in. He's been a big investor in Solana, which is a layer 1 blockchain, so a smart application or smart contract platform. And Sui and Optos, I think it's Sui was what Facebook or Meta was building, a digital asset system on a layer 1. And from what I understand, the government stopped that from happening because Zuckerberg already has enough power with Web 2.0, and they don't want him to have the corner of the market with Web 3 and tie in a bunch of currencies, basically digital currencies into the meta world, which already includes Instagram and Facebook, et cetera. So Interesting stuff. But Bitcoin and Solana, to me, Bitcoin is the sure thing. Ethereum, I feel like missed out on some of the best prices to get in at. It's more secure or more of a sure bet than Solana, but Solana only has a small fraction of the market capitalization that Ethereum has. So the thesis on Solana that I really believe in is that it's going to capture even just a fraction of the smart contract platform market cap from Ethereum, and that's going to cause its price to increase greatly. Its all-time high was $250 per coin, and currently it's selling for about $33. So buying it now just brings the cost average down for someone like me who bought it under 100, thinking that was a great deal, because it was at the time. But then look what happened. And then other digital assets that we currently hold are Ethereum, Link, Matic, and a few other little things that I bought back in the beginning when I was first getting into this that now I realize really aren't that great. XRP, but I'm still holding on to those. No reason to sell them when we're this far down. When we rally again, it's going to be a challenge, but a fun challenge to determine which assets I'll layer out of, meaning selling them at a profit and then deciding what to do. Do we convert it into fiat and buy a car? I know that our family wants a truck sometime. Looks like the family's coming in. Let me pause this. Okay, just resuming this and moving on. So here to close the video, let's not lose track of the why. Peer-to-peer, permissionless, immutable ledgers. What does that all mean? What it means is that you can go work and use the money that you're given, the energy that you're given, so to speak, for your expenditure of energy. And that, instead of just having dollars that lose value and they get manipulated by the government and others, you can store that in assets such as real estate and really great companies, buying stock in companies you believe in, and also in buying Bitcoin and other digital assets that are going to be part of the new world of money. So that's the why. And I think when I brought this slide in, it didn't do my cool little transition, but bad actors, bad politicians, centralization, lack of free speech, lack of self-sovereignty, the manipulation, those things can come to an end, I believe, through new technologies that we build that truly are equitable and that are free and give us freedom and free market. So am I buying Bitcoin? Heck yes. All right. Thanks, guys.